Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, Embracing Arms community, this is Dr. Danielle Hairston coming back to you with another 5-minute quickie with Your Best Life. Hoping everything is going well with you today. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how do you start your day in the morning. I know probably a few months ago, maybe close to a year, I may have come to you to talk a little bit about wellness, like overall wellness, and preparing yourself for your week and things like that, and just some really cool tips to help you be productive. But I had a session this morning, a physical health session, wellness session this morning, and we was doing some strength and resistance training, and we were also talking about the mind and the body and kind of being mindful of that and taking care of ourselves. Like, we are the best caretakers for us. If we don't take care of ourselves in the way that we see fit, no one else is going to care for us the way we care for ourselves. And the way we care for ourselves tells people how to care for us. So that's something that we also want to be considerate of. But I had shared, with the group that I want to be more physically active. Like, that's the thing that I want to do the most. And this particular session, it was at 6 a.m. I never get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And in fact, I had to get up earlier than that so I can get ready to log in for the session. And I am never ready to go at 6 a.m. for anything except for a plane ride. I'm very consistent about that. If I have a plane that I need to be at the airport by 6 a.m., I am at the airport at 6 a.m. But that is usually the only time that you'll see me functioning that early. And typically, as soon as I get on a plane, I go to bed. I go to sleep. I pull my pillow out, and it's a wrap. So, I want to be more physically active. And sometimes when I think about my physical activity, I quantify it based on my day, right? We have possibly 16 waking hours of the day if we're getting 8 hours of sleep. So we possibly have 16 waking hours of the day. And for many of us, if we're working away from the home, we're dedicating 8 of those hours to working in another place, away from your gym, away from your home, away from wherever you would normally go to do your physical activity. And so we start quantifying our day, like, okay, well, that means that I only have 8 hours to do the things that I need to do for me. If I give an hour to the gym, another, 15 minutes to get to the gym, 15 minutes to get back, so that's an hour and a half. I still need to get home and cook, and it takes me an hour to cook. That is, another hour. So now we're at 2.5 hours. I haven't read my book, and I usually spend about an hour. That's 3.5 hours, blah, blah, blah. So you start quantifying that. And instead of being innovative about how can you stack that, right? And so we were talking about how can you combine some of those things into one space during one time so that you can get the most out of your time, give yourself your time back. And so one of the things that I do when I get up in the morning is that, or when my alarm goes off, because getting up really requires me to be physically out of the bed, functioning, walking, doing something. And so my alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and I usually just kind of lay there for a minute, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of regroup. I'll grab my bottle of water on the side of my nightstand and drink that. Typically, I try to drink the entire bottle. I take care of my medication at that time, and I use the bathroom. Then I'll get back in the bed. I'll get right back in the bed. And then the very next thing that I do is I'll put on my TED Talks. I'll run through about 2 or 3 TED Talks. And so once I do that, it's already about 7:15 because TED Talks it's around 20 minutes, 25 minutes, right? So if I do 3 of them, that's already an hour. And I've already spent the first 25 minutes just thinking about my life when I wake up in the morning, right? And so once I kind of do that, I might go into my social media and respond to, my social media post, or respond to messenger stuff, or respond to whatever. My email, and that literally will take another hour. So now I am at about 8 o'clock o'clock in the morning. And so I'm always thinking, like, how can I maximize my time in the morning? And so in this session, we were talking about, maybe taking a walk, right? Because I haven't done my physical activity yet. I've done all of these other things, but not my physical activity. So one of the things that, the presenter was talking about is like stacking that. So, think about your day and thinking about all of the things that you want to do just for your health, just for your mental health, your physical health, so that you can get your mind right. Because if you work on your body and you work on those things in the first day of the first moment in the morning, it really sets the tone the way you interact with people and the decisions that you make throughout the day. And so now I'm considering, okay, when I take a walk I'll get my physical activity in, and I'll listen to my TED Talks in my ear. Go through 3 of those, and within 60 minutes, I did already taken, a 60-minute walk in the morning. So now I done knocked out 2 things in the morning. And while I'm walking, I'm drink my water, while I'm walking, getting my water in at the same time. So I knocked out all 3 of those things. And so now, in 1 hour, I've gotten my physical activity in, I've taken my meds, I've drank, the water that consumed my water. I had time to myself, and I got my TED Talks in, and I still had some mind space, and it's just 1 hour. And guess what? Now, instead of it being 8:15, 8:30, it's 7 a.m. So I gained some time. So I just want you to think about that in terms of how are you utilizing your time in the morning so that you can get the most out of that and be the most prepared for your day, because how you deal with yourself first thing in the morning is how you're going to function throughout the day. So anyway, that is my 5-minute quickie. Go out in the community and then continue to embrace someone, because they're waiting on you, and live your absolute best life.
Sickening and living in house resemblance, not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lower stakes bracket committing the highest rate of crime. People dying way before they hit their age of prime, thinking success only happens if they shoot hoops.